My dad works in B2B marketing. He came by my school for career day and said he was a big ROAS man. Then he told everyone how much he loved calculating his return on ad spend. My friends still laugh at me to this day.
Not everyone gets B2B, but with LinkedIn, you'll be able to reach people who do. Get a $100 credit on your next ad campaign. Go to linkedin.com/results to claim your credit. That's linkedin.com/results. Terms and conditions apply. LinkedIn, the place to be, to be.
We acknowledge the traditional owners of country throughout Australia and recognise their continuing connection to land, waters and culture. We pay our respects to their elders past, present and emerging. Welcome to This Song Is Yours, a music podcast where we chat to a new guest each week, talk about their life and creative endeavours, and talk to them about some of the music they love. Our show works by chatting to our guests about music, but also getting them to make you a playlist of the songs they love. You can find the link to our playlist in the show notes. Welcome to episode 43. I'm your host, Simon Fink. Our guest today is Tia Gostelow. The singer-songwriter from Mackay, Queensland released her incredible second record, Chrysalis, late last year, and has just announced a tour in support of the record. In today's episode, we're talking with Tia about finally getting back on the road, working with Holy Holy, and learning how to produce her own music. Here we go. Our guest today released their incredible second record, Chrysalis, in October last year. This July, she'll finally be able to take the record on the road with the Chrysalis Tour 2021. Please welcome to This Song Is Yours, Tia Gostelow. Good morning.
Morning, how are you?
I'm very well, thank you. How are you? I'm
good, thanks.
That's good. Now, congratulations on the second record, Chrysalis. It is out now. It has been out for a little while.
Yeah.
What has the reception been like so far to this record?
It's been amazing. I guess like anything, like once you release like your first album or first single and then you go to do like your second one, there's always a lot of pressure, probably not from other people, but like for me, I found I was putting a lot of pressure on myself, wanting to make it bigger and better than the first album and everything. So it was very nerve-wracking going to put it out. But once it came out, everybody was so supportive. And I think because I was so sure of the sound that I was wanting to have and like the music I was putting out, I think it was just such an exciting time. And like, funnily enough, not really funny, but when I wrote the album, it was right before COVID. And it was pretty much just about how I was struggling with being away from my loved ones and everything. So this whole record is just about that kind of feeling of being away from your loved ones and I guess feeling really lonely. And then the album came out and during COVID, and it just kind of feels like the songs relate to way more people now because of like everyone's got like some kind of situation that they're going through where they're away from their loved ones or feeling a bit lonely during this pandemic. So I think people have been connecting with it quite a lot because of that. So it's just weird how the timing worked with it all.
It's almost like prophetic. Is it prophetic?
I don't know.
Like prophesizing the future.
Yeah. No, it was super strange how it all happened. But everyone's been so super lovely about the record.
The record does, just before you mentioned the sound has kind of shifted. It's still very much yourself, but there was like an evident mark from that first record, Thick Skin, being a little bit more like folky indie rock, if you will. And then this one has a bit more, electro isn't the right word, but like a little bit more dance, a little bit more electronic in a way. What was the catalyst for that change in sound?
I think it was just me evolving as a person and as an artist. Like it was just like a natural kind of thing that happened when I wrote the songs on Thick Skin. A lot of those songs were written when I was about 15 or 16, you know, so like obviously you change, you grow up, your tastes change, you evolve. And I think for me that was just naturally where I was headed. That's the kind of music that I was listening to, was a lot more like electronic, dancey. And for me that just felt like what I really wanted to do. And also I was really focusing on like the live show at that time. I found that when I was playing Thick Skin, I really wanted people to be dancing, but like the music wasn't really like moshing, you know what I mean? But like people were like dancing, having fun and singing along. But I just really felt like for my live shows in the future, I wanted people just to be jumping up and down and screaming. And I was really focusing on that for some reason. I found it super interesting, like writing an album with like the live show and like the performance in mind as well. So yeah, I think it was just like a natural progression that happened. And I felt very sure about the music that I was going to be putting out.
That's very fair. That's very fair. We were talking, sugar, last week with the boys from Holy Holy, who said a similar thing in their songwriting process of that they were playing their like a version of Greenlight, and then they saw the crowd's reaction and then talked about writing for their live show.
Yes.
I know the record was produced with Oscar from the band. How did that kind of come about, or how did that musical partnership come about?
Well, I've been a big fan of Holy Holy forever. So like that was obviously a big part of it, but also Oscar produced Busby Maru's album, and Busby Maru are on the same management team as I am. And yeah, we just kind of connected through that. Oscar flew up to Brisbane one weekend, and we just like met up and just had a drink, and we like instantly connected. Like it was super weird. And I know Ali, Oscar's wife as well. Like we did some shows together. So it was just kind of like through mutual connections. And as soon as Oscar and I got into the studio together, like I've never felt like that connection musically with anyone before. So it was just such an amazing experience, and Oscar was so like patient with me in the studio. Like I really wanted to play so many instruments that I didn't really know how to play, but he sat there and persevered with it, even though he could have just picked it up and played the instrument straight away. He was really great in that aspect.
Because the boys do appear on a track for the record. Was that your idea, or was it his idea, or a combination?
I think it was a combination. The song wasn't, Tim and I haven't sung that song together. Like we didn't record it together because we were like, I'm in Brisbane, Tim's down in Tasmania, Oscar's in Melbourne. But like we went to the Grove Studios where the album was recorded and like laid everything down. And then I went to Oscar's studio in Melbourne to help to be there while he was mixing it. And I just kind of felt like Always should have been a duo, like it needed to have a feature on it. And I just kind of blurted it out and asked Oscar if Holy Holy would like to be on it. And it just kind of happened like that. And yeah, it was amazing. It's one of my favorite songs. And Tim's voice really just like elevates the whole song.
It's definitely, sometimes putting someone on the spot can definitely get the best results. So yeah. I think that definitely worked out. When you are writing tracks like this and when you are writing for the album, do you find that you're more of a lyric person first, whereas the words will kind of come to you and what you're feeling, or is it the melody comes first, or a bit of both?
When I write, I usually like to get down like the drums, the bass, chords and everything like that first, and then I'll work on the lyrics after that. When I was writing the songs for Chrysalis, though, I had this main theme in mind, which is obviously like all throughout the record, is just like in that period of time I was really struggling with being away from my family and being in a long distance relationship with my boyfriend, and I guess like living alone in Brisbane as well. So when I was writing all these songs, that's pretty much what I was writing about. So it was good for me to go in and like know exactly what I wanted to say, and I found that the lyrics flowed a lot better that way. But at the moment, like I've been writing and I haven't really had anything, like, it's bad to say, but like usually writing sad songs is a lot easier than writing happy songs. So I've been finding it a bit hard at the moment to try and find inspiration in other things other than the sad things in my life, because life's pretty good at the moment. So like it's been challenging for me to do that, but it's been really good as well to like write about other people and other things that I've seen and like things in the world that isn't about me. So that's been great.
That's very cool. I feel it is true. It's somehow that like writing sad songs seems to be very easy in a way because like it's the like what is the saying? Misery loves company. Whereas like writing a happy song, you don't want it to be too cheesy or too corny. You want it to.
This season, Instacart has your back to school. As in, they've got your back to school lunch favorites like snack packs and fresh fruit. And they've got your back to school supplies like backpacks, binders, and pencils. And they've got your back when your kid casually tells you they have a huge school project due tomorrow. Let's face it, we were all that kid. So first, call your parents to say I'm sorry, and then download the Instacart app to get delivery in as fast as 30 minutes all school year long. Get a $0 delivery fee with your first 3 orders while supplies last. Minimum $10 an order. Additional terms apply.
My dad works in B2B marketing. He came by my school for career day and said he was a big ROAS man. Then he told everyone how much he loved calculating his return on ad spend. My friends still laugh at me to this day.
Not everyone gets B2B, but with LinkedIn, you'll be able to reach people who do. Get a $100 credit on your next ad campaign. Go to linkedin.com/results to claim your credit. That's linkedin.com/results. Terms and conditions apply. LinkedIn, the place to be, to be.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, it's a fine line.
Exactly. Did you find yourself throughout COVID, we've spoken to some people and some had, I guess, some form, like a writer's block or found that COVID wasn't the appropriate time to try and be creating music. Did you find yourself in either of those boats?
I found myself taking a really long break from music. Like I didn't write one song during like the pandemic or like the lockdown or I don't think I wrote a song last year at all. And I found that worked really well for me. I think it was something that I really needed to do. And I moved back home to where my parents live in Mackay. I lived back there for a year and I was working. So like I was working like another job cleaning. And I think it was good for me to just go do something like that where I can go to work, don't have to think about anything while I'm there or when I come home. And I found that having that massive break from writing music and playing shows has really made me appreciate it a lot more. And like working in this other job, it really made me have a different perspective on my career and what I was doing and how grateful I am to be doing what I'm doing. And I'm so motivated and passionate about music now. Like I'm just so like, I've been writing so much lately, been teaching myself how to use like Logic and like I brought a bass the other day. So I feel like I'm just so much more passionate and just ready to just take my career to the next level.
That's awesome. How are you finding Logic? It's definitely it's not easy.
No, well, I think I have, if I put my mind to something, I can do it. But most of the time, if I hit like a little roadblock, I'm just like, nah, I'm just going to go watch Netflix now. Like most of the time I'd just like, it'd be too hard for me to do. But like I've persevered for the past couple of weeks and like, yeah, I like finished a full song the other day and it's actually like this awesome feeling of accomplishment. And I can see how people get so like obsessed with producing and like just sit there for hours on end and like keep like tinkering away. But yeah, I'm getting there, like still have a very long way to go, but at least I can kind of like produce like half decent demos now.
Is it something that you would, I guess, be interested in looking at doing in the future, like producing either your own record or even moving into like what Oscar does and producing other people's records?
It's definitely something I can see myself doing now. Like in the past, I've just kind of always been like, no, it doesn't really interest me. I don't really know what's going on. When I'm in the studio, I have no idea what's going on. And now, like, I'm finding it super interesting. Like, I'm really, like, want to ask questions about what's going on. I want to, like, spend time with, like, my friends who know how to produce. I think eventually it would be awesome to do that, but I feel like I've got a long way to go, but it's definitely something I can see myself doing now. Whereas, like, if you asked me that maybe a month ago, I probably would have said no.
Yeah, no, that's very fair. you are about to head back out on the road, I believe. Where are we? End of this month with Middle Kids. And then June and July for your own tour. How are you feeling about getting back out there and playing shows again?
I'm so excited. I feel like Chrysalis came out last year, end of last year. And usually you'd go and do like a massive tour, like in the album cycle pretty much as soon as you announce it. So the tour is a bit delayed. But yeah, I can't even explain how excited I am. Like, I'm playing such big venues like The Corner in Melbourne. I remember like doing support shows there and being like, holy, this is like such a big venue. Now to be doing like my own headline show there is incredible. And like the Triffid in Brizzy, like for me, it's like a big full circle moment. When I first moved to Brisbane, I was glassing at the Triffid. Like, that was my job, like, cleaning up people's spew, you know, all that kind of stuff. And now to be like going there and like playing a headline show to me is like incredible. Like, I'm just so stoked to be doing it, and like supporting Middle Kids as well. Like, it'll be nice doing like a little duo set. I haven't done that in quite a long time, so I think it'll be super nice. And I'm just excited to be playing shows in general.
Yeah, of course. I feel it's almost a little bit like full circle, like working there and now being able to play shows there. It's you've done what every glassy wants to do.
Yeah.
Play a show there.
No, I'm super excited about it. And it was also like the first venue I ever played in Brisbane when I was like 16, like in the beer garden there. And I remember walking in being like, this venue is amazing. Like, one day I'm going to play in like the main room. So yeah, it's definitely a big full circle moment. And I love everyone at the Triffid so much. So I think it'll be such a nice night. And I think it's the last show on the tour as well. So I think it'll be a very big one.
Well, hopefully, fingers crossed, it is a big night for yourself.
Yeah.
As you said, the tour was postponed somewhat because of COVID. I imagine it's a bit of a silly question what I'm about to ask, but when the album did come out, was there a bit of disappointment in the fact that you weren't able to, I guess, promote it in the usual ways that you would? As you said, you release an album, you go out on tour and do a bit of a victory lap. Was it a bit upsetting that wasn't there this time?
It was a little bit, but I guess we were lucky enough that I still got to do some album launch shows. So I still did 5 shows in Queensland. I played in Brisbane, in Toowoomba, and on the Gold Coast. So I think it wasn't as disappointing because I was able to do those shows, and like it was still all seated. It was like a matinee kind of show, but everyone was so excited to just be there, even though it was sitting. Like, it was so rowdy. Like, everyone was like, it was like dancing in their seats and everything. But I think it was also the situation where like everyone was just excited to be watching live music and being grateful that we were all able to even do that. So, it's great. It's great that we can actually do this tour now and go into other states as well. So yeah, I'm super excited about it, but I think everybody's had to adapt to this new kind of world we're living in at the moment. So everybody's kind of going through the same thing. And I guess we're all just learning as things keep going.
100%. Yeah. I imagine it was good in a way. Was the album meant to always be released around the October, November mark, or?
No, it was meant
if it had been released earlier.
Yeah, it was meant to be released like March last year, but we just kept pushing it back. Just everything was just so unreliable, I guess that's the word, or like you just didn't know when to do it. And we ended up just saying, let's just release it this date, see what happens. I don't know, we just kind of winged it and it did well. So I don't know, everybody's just learning as the years go on, I guess.
Yeah, no, that's very fair. Very fair. You're also performing in Adelaide in June as part of the Adelaide Cabaret Festival for, I believe the show is Deadly Hearts.
Yes.
What can we are based in Adelaide, hence why I've raised it. What can the audience expect from this show?
I think it'll just be a really fun show. Like I said, like the new songs will be played. We haven't really had much of an opportunity to play the songs live yet. So I think it's just going to be super fun, dancing if we can dance. I'm not sure if we can dance in Adelaide. But yeah, I
believe we're allowed to, yeah.
Oh, awesome. Well, yeah, and I've never been to Adelaide either, so it'll be my first trip there, my first show in Adelaide. So, yeah, I think it'll just be really fun and exciting, and can't wait to play the new songs.
Beautiful. That's, very exciting. I imagine there's going to be quite a few people. We are, at the moment, we're allowed dancing. I'm sure, touch wood, COVID pending, that they'll still be dancing in June.
Awesome.
Yeah. Tia, usually we would speak to our guests about what they're currently listening to. Is there a record or records at the moment that you kind of got on high rotation or loving?
I have been listening. Actually, I haven't been listening to a lot of albums, but I've been going through playlists. I've been trying to expand my music knowledge. In saying that, though, I did watch a Netflix series not long ago, and the soundtrack on it was incredible, and it's really made me delve back into the 70s and listen to all the music from back then. So I've been listening to a lot of 70s playlists. And yeah, I think I need to get into albums a lot more. But at the moment, I'm just kind of listening to whatever comes up on my Spotify.
What was the documentary that you watched?
It was, I can't even remember what the show was called now. Oh my God, that's horrible that I don't remember it. But it had this amazing soundtrack on it. And it was the show was based back in the 70s. Firefly Lane, that's what it's called. And the soundtrack is just incredible. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, no, cool. That I did hear that the soundtrack for that was very good. So, yeah. Do you find when you are listening to things like that, and it might be 70s music, that that does influence your songwriting in a way?
I think it does without me even realizing. I think it's just weird how it just kind of stays in your brain, and I think it'll come out when I start writing. And I've noticed since I've brought my bass, I'm noticing different things in songs that I wouldn't before. I'm listening for more things, and we were talking about before, me using Logic, actually sitting there and going through Splice and finding samples and putting them in. It's weird, the things that you notice. And now when I'm listening to music, I can hear tiny little bells or shakers that I wouldn't have noticed before because I'm paying more attention. It's just strange how that happens.
Using Logic, yeah, similar kind of thing. I found that you then almost have a weird mixing or mastering desk in your head where you can now hear more different bits and pieces. So
it's super strange.
Yeah. Tia, thank you very much for your time today. I do appreciate it. Thank you for being on the podcast.
No worries. Thank you so much for having me.
And that's our show. A massive thank you to Tia Gostelow for her time. The new record, Chrysalis, is out now. We've left links in the show notes to her website if you'd like to purchase the record or buy tickets to one of her shows. We also want to give a huge shout out to Nick at Footstomp Music for helping out with today's interview. You can find a link to our Spotify playlist in the show notes, where you'll be able to listen to all of our guests' picks. If you like this show, please subscribe wherever you get your pods and stay up to date when new episodes are released. We release new shows each Thursday and Friday morning, with guest playlists streaming on Spotify at the same time. You can follow the playlist profile on Spotify. You can follow us on Instagram, Facebook, and TikTok. Until next week, cheers.